Now, Father, thank you for your word. You are always good. Sometimes people don't think things are it's hard for them to hear the correction. It's hard to them to hear the discipline. It's hard to them to hear the righteous judgment. It's hard for them to hear the discipline or the correction or the justice of Elohim or the righteousness according to Messiah, according to the word at times. But like Messiah says, why do you only want to hear what is the good or like feels good or sounds good? I'm paraphrasing the good. But it's not just about you always hearing what feels good, because he does a work in us. Anyway, that other message was to address specifically those messages. We will do what the Father gives us to do when we are addressing wickedness, putting a light on it, shining it out so Satan can't keep hiding in the dark and trying to do things in the dark, scurrying around in the dark, lurking in the dark, like the Proverbs from Mishle 7 we read the other day. The Jezebel can't keep lurking in the dark, scurrying around in the dark, being on the street corners, having that seed and that spirit of Satan. No, we come against those principalities. We come against the spiritual wickedness. The territory, the earth, and the fullness thereof is a Yahuah, and that's what we proclaim today and every day. So we address the things that we needed to address, but we are also proclaiming the goodness of Elohim and the prophecy that the Ruach just reminded us of. Remember, we are coming out of a time of Saul. Saul who was decommissioned. Saul who was depositioned. Saul who was a son of disobedience and got the kingship taken away from him. Saul who the people wanted. The people wanted a king when Elohim had already said, I'm your sovereign. You don't need a middleman. So they wanted Saul. Saul was disobedient. Saul knew it, the time of David, the time of the one that was in the likeness of Elohim, the time who the one who was a man after Elohim's own heart it was his time. It was his time to serve. Saul kept trying to get in the way of David's time to serve. Saul could only slay 1,000, but David was slaying 10,000s. That last rulership that was in place, even when it regards to the presidency, even in regards to the rulership of nations, of communities, of organizations. Okay, the former way is out and done and gone. It was only enough to defeat only 1,000 of the principalities in the spiritual wicked and in the darkness and the way of the world, the evil of Hasatan of the world. It was only able to defeat 1,000 and bring in 1,000 good things. But now is the time of David, bringing and slaying in 10,000s of the evils and bringing in 10,000s of the righteousness of Elohim. Elohim has turned it, shifted. We already crossed over. Ain't no going back. There's no stopping Elohim. There's no stopping the Ruach. You see the sun shining bright, and you will continue to see Messiah be esteemed. You will continue to see Elohim be esteemed and glorified. You will continue to see revival. You will continue to see the children of Elohim rise in belief increase, and the knowing of Elohim and the closeness of Elohim and the likeness of Elohim and the love of Elohim increase. You will continue to see every adversary defeated. You will continue to see every prophecy of Elohim fulfilled. You will continue to see the miracles, signs, and wonders, even for those who would not believe without seeing, who would not believe without hearing. You might see and believe off of the count of the belief of the person off of your neighbor. The other day, the Ruach reminded me of the shadow and even the shadow of the Talmudim, of the disciples, of the taught ones of Elohim, of Peter, of Paul walking by. Even the shadow was enough to heal people in need. Even, they were touching the handkerchiefs and laying the handkerchiefs on people. And it was the power of Elohim to heal. This is the Ruach. It's the time of Elohim. It's the time of the Ruach. It is the time of the bride of Elohim. It is the time of his restoration, his reign, his preparation, his coming, his sovereignty, his rule, his reign, his generation. It says, even as, okay, worse than the last days will be worse than the days of Noah. And even as that wickedness increase and people choose to remain sleeping, and people choose to remain still going about their typical things, guess what will be happening with the reign and the rule of Elohim? It will shine brighter, and it will grow in strength, and it will only increase. And those who are of him and loving him and pursuing and seeking and being one in agreement with him, following his Ruach, flow in the Ruach, will certainly be worshiping him in spirit and truth. And Ruach in truth will be dwelling with him in Ruach in truth. Dwelling in Ruach in truth. Dwelling in Ruach in truth. Abundantly. We reject all that shenanigans of the world. It doesn't matter where it came from. Media. It doesn't matter where Satan tried to plant his seed. If he tried to plant his seed literally in the soil, in a person, in a thought, in the media, in a film, in music, in a book, in a school, in an institution, in an organization, in parts of government, in different countries and continents. I don't care what he thought he was doing. He's nothing. Because just as Saul could not pick up him nor his armies, just as Cain could not pick up him nor his armies, just like Esau could not pick up him nor his armies, Judas could not pick up those who persecuted Messiah. They could not pick up a mountain. Elohim, Messiah himself said, you have belief the size of a mustard seed. It will be enough for you to move a mountain. Say go from here to there, and it will do so. The Elohim is almighty. It only takes the grain the size of a mustard seed of belief. But guess what? The wicked is not. It's nothing. They built a tower, it falls. They try to create a scheme, it flops. They dig a hole, they fall into the ditch. They set a trap and a bait, they get ensnared. Everything they do, everything the principality, spiritual wickedness, and high place that try to exalt itself above Elohim does, is for naught. It fails. It does not work. Everything of the children of Elohim that they do prospers and goes forth and does what Elohim sets it forth to do, because his word doesn't return void. Be uplifted in Elohim, be enlightened in Elohim, and receive him and know he is good. Know that he is righteous. Know that he will fulfill everything that he said he will fulfill. Elohim is righteous. Elohim is righteous. Elohim is righteous. I agree with Elohim. I'm sitting here saying Elohim is righteous. Guess what? And his light is shining even brighter. Every time I say Elohim is righteous, he's doing righteously. He's done righteously. He is doing righteously. He's working it out righteously. He's moving righteously. He's giving revelation righteously. He's giving preparation righteously. He's fulfilling his words righteously. He's giving righteous vision. He's giving his righteous dreams. He's giving the righteous blueprints. His righteous instructions, daily, righteous daily bread. Righteously, he's answering prayers. People need it. He's answering prayers, though at times in the ways that we never thought possible. What is he doing? Shining the light. Answering the prayers. Answer my prayers. Answer our kin's prayers. Answer the prayers of the brethren. The prayers of the righteous avail much. He's answering immediately. Moving immediately. I'm not denying Elohim. I'm not denying his plans. Elohim is the one who instructs and says who belongs to who. We don't believe the lies of Hasatan. I don't believe them. I don't believe it. I believe Elohim. I believe the plans of Elohim. I believe the dreams of Elohim. I believe the visions of Elohim. I believe the word of Elohim. I believe the righteousness of Elohim. I believe the fruitfulness of Elohim and abundance of Elohim. I believe the mind of Elohim, the thoughts of Elohim, the heart of Elohim, the purpose of Elohim. I believe Elohim's thoughts. He says what his thoughts is. I believe his voice. I believe Elohim's voice. Elohim's voice. I believe Elohim's voice. Elohim is not a man as he should lie. He's not a worker of witchcraft. And he says, my sheep know my voice, another they will not follow. So if there's any voices, any adversary trying to get you to agree with them, like Hasatan did to Yahuah in the Yarden, that is not the voice of Elohim. And they are a liar. And you do not believe them and you do not follow him as being a sheep of Elohim. Messiah said he's creating shepherds, not sheep. Raising up shepherds. To be taught of Elohim. That is the purpose, to be a disciple, to be taught of him, discipled by him, to walk with him, to follow him. Any voice that is not the voice of Elohim or Messiah, those who are of Elohim and Messiah do not heed them. Whose voice, they don't follow them, because it's of the adversary. The Father himself said it. My sheep know my voice, another they do not follow. So because we love him, we keep his commands. We don't follow the voices that are not Elohim, the voices that are not Messiah. Like I said, I don't care if it came from a movie. I don't care if it comes from a song. I don't care if it came from your school, down in the community. If it's not Elohim's voice, the voice of Messiah, and in agreement with Elohim, righteous in the sight of Messiah and Elohim, get behind me, Hasatan. We reject it. Eat the meat, spit out the bones. Yahuah rebuke it. And Yahushua Mashiach. Now, thank you, Father, for your praise. Thank you for, we had the power hour. Thank you for the afternoon. Thank you for the evening. Thank you for the spring. Thank you for your wind and your Ruach. I thank you for your move and your power and your might. Thank you, Yahuah. You are lovely, and you love us so deeply. I was going to say I love you so much, I do, but you love us so deeply. As my madre would say to me, I love you, but Yah loves you more. Yah loves you more. Yah loves you so much. So much. So much. Love him. Keep his command, for this is the whole duty of man. Revere Yahuah and keep his command. Reverence of Yahuah, to honor him. What's pleasing in his sight. Being a faithful bride to him. Keep his commands. Yeah, you are awesome. He knows what he's doing. I am so in love with Yahuah. I'm loving you. It's the first. It's the first. The first is the beginning. It's the beginning. He knows what he's doing. I thank you, Abba. I thank you for my family. I thank you for kinfolk. I thank you for the brethren. I thank you for helping every person in their need and meeting them where they are. I thank you that you are fulfilling your desires upon earth as in the Shemaim. Thank you for a husband. Thank you for the children. Thank you for your seed, the DNA of your seed, the word of your seed, the children of your seed. Everything that is from you, that is a seed of your goodness and your righteousness, of your Ruach and your word and your living water and your bread and your wine and your mind, Yahuah. Blessings only you can give. the eternal things, the manna from the Shamaim, the living water that you would never thirst anymore, the mind of Hamashiach, a heart one with you, Yahuah, your heart, your thoughts, your ways, your higher, your revelation, your agreement with you, your peace passes all understanding, your armor, you're guarding us, you keeping us, you giving us messengers that bear us up, lest we dash our foot against the stone, you keeping us, you, the battle belonging to Elohim, to the Messiah, to the Master, to the one who is mighty and defeating every foe. You being righteous and never forsaking us, your beloved ones, your children. You never doing away with your word and your word never returning void. Your promises being fulfilled. Your yes and amen. You said your yes is yes and your no is no. Thank you, Yahuah. We receive you only. Only your voice. No other do we. We don't follow. We don't follow any other. It doesn't matter if it came from TV. We don't watch television. But anyway, it doesn't matter if it came from that. There's times where the Father gives us personally opportunity to have some relaxed time. We might watch a movie or something like that. But I don't sit and watch TV and different things like that. Whether if you watch social media, if it came from music, if it came from a book or audio book. Like I said, if it came from community, it came from the place that you work. We don't follow voices other than no other voice except the voice of Elohim. Messiah. It said that in John. We read that. I'm not saying we don't follow the rulership that he set in place. But when it's not in alignment, do you think he didn't tell Abraham to abide in what Tarak was doing when he was contrary to Elohim? When Tarak wanted to serve idols, he told him, don't have nothing to do with that. Go walk away from there. First of all, he had him address it biblically, one-on-one, and with witness. And when Tarak was like, he knew those was idols, he said, acknowledge that he was putting idols above Elohim and that he still chose to worship them. Elohim removed Abraham from around his dad. Oh, because you know you worshiping idols and you still doing it and you're still putting it, the people of the land, the man of the land, as though they are your king and your ruler, and that you are more fearful and reverence to them than you are of Elohim. You did okay, Saul. You want to be like Saul? You want to disobey? Tear that kingship right away from you. So thank you, Father, for the time of David. Thank you for the time of your Ruach. It's your reign. It's your kingdom. It's your righteousness. It's your qodeshah, your qodeshim. It's your desire. Your desire. And I thank you, Yah. You are so good. Your reign and your rule. It says, even as the last days will be worse as the days of Noah, you still will always keep a remnant and preserve your people. You said all of Israel will save. You said you would gather your people from the four corners. You said you would do those things. You said you would reconcile. You said we would bring back the prodigals. You said you would prepare the way. You said you would go before. You said your bride, your children, all of these things. You didn't put away your wife. You didn't put away your virgins. You are the example of righteousness, of qodeshah. 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 You have one bride. And you have your virgin, your maidens. You did it decently in order, but you also take care of your whole household. But you honor your own word and your own covenant. You swore on yourself because there was none greater to swear by. So we honor you and delight in you and your way. We delight in how you're choosing to move and what you want to move and how you want to put things in order. How you want to put things in order. At times it might hurt our heart and hurt feelings. And man, I didn't think that was, oh man, you got to move over here and move over there. Or that has to be gone, or that relationship, friendship, whatever it is. has to be shifted and changed and different, because Elohim's rule and reign is, and the eternal and the generational things is greater value than what man's plans could be. I would rather save many souls than be like, oh, let's just go in the way of what man thinks is good. I would rather him usher in the Shemaim and usher in a righteous generation and prepare the righteous generation that will be into the promise of Elohim, and prepare those who will come and reign with Messiah for 1,000 years, looking towards that hope and that future and that expectation than the expectation of the world. It being normal that Elohim, who created all life and is life himself in good and perfect love himself, now it would be normal to embrace him as such, in his way as such. Anyway, thank you, Father. You're awesome. You are awesome. As you keep reminding us, you know what you said that to yesterday. You were just flowing, and we were like, and the Ruach was like, you know what you're doing. As always. Always. Yahuah knows what he's doing. Always. We reject the nonsense and accept the righteousness of Elohim. Accept the goodness of Elohim is good. It's for the good. It's for life. Life in abundant life. For the many. For eternity. The eternity of many. Of all that shall be saved. That will be saved. That choose salvation. That choose life over death. That choose eternity over futility. I choose the perfect love over the flesh. Elohim is the best. Elohim is the best. And for those who don't know it yet or want to know it, Father, you're moving. You know what you're doing. We reject everything else that's not of it. But Abba, you are amazing. And thank you. Love you. Rejoice for you. Continue to be esteemed. Shalom.